Now, the clothes of a Scottish woman who fell to her death from a holiday apartment in Benidorm were not tested for DNA by Spanish authorities. It's been revealed today. 27-year-old Kirsty Maxwell was on holiday last April following her marriage to husband Adam.
Well, she died after falling 10 storeys from an apartment where 4 British men were staying. British investigators have criticised Spanish forensic investigators for shortcomings. Well, joining me now with the latest, it's Guy's James Matthews, and attention now being focused on what wasn't tested at the time.
Indeed, serious shortcomings is how the family put it, Jane. They are extremely anxious that the Spanish authorities are not conducting investigations into Kirsty's death appropriately. You can see pictures of Kirsty on the wall behind me. We've just had a news conference at which the family of Kirsty have revealed their deep concerns at what is happening or indeed not happening with regard to this investigation. I'm joined by Adam Maxwell, Kirsty's husband, and David Swindle, an independent reviewer, Scotland-based, of this case. David, tell me first of all, the clothes that Kirsty was wearing have been destroyed. They were not tested for DNA. Why is that significant in the context of what you think happened to Kirsty?
It's an absolutely shocking update. The clothing worn by Kirsty is the most important potential evidential opportunities. This has been put in a bin, destroyed, and no DNA was taken for it. You could have grabbed DNA, low-copy DNA, which would have indicated if someone had attempted to seize hold of Kirsty.
Significant because the block or the flat from which Kirsty fell had 5 men in it, 5 men from Nottingham.
There was 5 men from Nottingham in that room. The police report by the Spanish authorities indicates that Kirsty was in fear of her life. So what happened there? Did someone seize her? Sadly, destroying her clothing and not taking DNA, it's an irretrievable shortcoming, an irretrievable evidential matter that they haven't dealt with.
Kirsty had been on a hen party with something like 20 pals that night. Adam, she ended up in this apartment. It was the one above the apartment she was in. What do we know of why she was there?
And we don't know. We've got an idea that Kirsty has went up to see her friends, which was in the adjoining room next door. For whatever reason, she has ended up in that room, whether she stumbled in by accident thinking it was her friends. She may have been pulled in. Going back to what David just said about the clothing, if someone did lay hands on Kirsty, on her clothing, we will now never know this. It's a massive failing.
You've staged a fight to find out what happened to Kirsty. How have you received this news? Does it make things much more difficult? Where does it go from here?
I mean, I received the news on Friday, late on Friday, so it's still quite fresh in our heads as well. To be honest with you, with a lot of the other failings that we experienced before in the case, this was something we almost expected in a way, but to actually have it confirmed is, it's shocking, it's very upsetting. It makes things slightly more difficult in the sense that they've got, evidence has been lost potentially. There are still a lot of other avenues that are being investigated. We are putting a lot of information to our Spanish lawyer and Spanish authorities in the hope that they will now focus on these now that there's been these massive shortcomings.
David, can I finally ask you, where do you think the answers lie with regard to what happened to Kirsty in the moments before she fell?
The answers lie in My Pretty Payma Apartments in Benidorm, the people that stayed there that weekend, the people that haven't been interviewed in there, and the answers lie in Nottingham, because the men that were in that room and their associates, there was lots of other members of that group there, the answers lie in Nottingham and in Benidorm, and hopefully, as a result of this today, people will think back and remember and come forward, because the police haven't actively gone to get witnesses in My Pretty Payma or the Hotel Presidente nearby.
Adam, as Kirsty's husband, how important is it to you that you find out the truth?
Both me, the rest of our family, there's many friends, in fact, general public are all looking for the answers to what happened. I think we're all working in the same way and pushing to get these answers.